more in the marketplace and stuff, we're not seeing it with our business. So it's like I'm trying to prepare for a recession, but it's also like it doesn't feel like it. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to
Last
force
couple
everyone to
times it,
be cautious, but they're not being cautious.
I'm being cautious, but
Oh, I am too.
you know what I mean? That's one of the
But the
reasons I'm
government's
doing
not, is what I'm saying. Like they're just fucking willy-nilly just spending every dollar they got.
Oh, well, yeah, it's not yours.
It
So,
is it is mine though, that's the thing.
Wait, did you just say
yeah,
they spend every dollar they've got? You mean they spend every dollar they don't got? Dude,
Yeah.
they've been in so far in debt. They're freaking printing more just so they can pay more money out.
Yeah, that's why they want us to hold on to it so they can spend those tax dollars.
There's a movie and I can't remember what it was, but there was a woman. She moved out to the middle of the wilderness, and it was like the not wilderness, but like in the middle of like some out far out place, and she had a well. And the guy comes over and he's talking to her and he's like, "Hey, the reason why your water isn't working is because your wells run dry." And she's like, "Oh, well, if the well's dry, I got a hose out front. I can just go, turn it on and fill up the well." And and of course he laughs because of course that's the same water that you would be using to fill up the well. And so he's like, "You have no idea what's going on. It's the same principle. They run out of money and they're like, well, we can print more. It's just like turning on the hose."
Yeah, exactly. Like that's not how it works. But who knows? We'll see. So, looking on to the monthly here, we can see still lower highs, lower lows, came up and we rejected. We're about halfway, I guess, probably from the last month. What do you do Fibonacci with just the 50? Where's 50 at? 50 would be like right here, 38.90. And the low here was 39.18. So close to halfway, not quite there. But nothing, no real change here on the monthly. So let's just go ahead and fast forward to the weekly. Weekly, same idea. Still holding above that 20 weekly moving average, which is sitting at 39.32. So let's go ahead and update that real quick. 39.50 there. That's good enough. But no real change on the weekly. You can kind of see it's the same, that same spot. And, I would say this is, I mean, pretty decent excess on the high here. And it's kind of coming right off of the previous highs, especially if we connect these weekly highs, right? We can get a little bit more zoomed in here. And you can see it, I mean, pretty much just trading pretty right on trend. The daily here, we're just kind of holding at the low of this balance. We're in this very big bracket. We kind of did a look above here. And if we switch to the ES, just so we can see our levels, you can see it here. Oh, I mean, you can see it here, right? So you have kind of the balance size like 40.50. We lowered our balance yesterday, right, to 39.36. Um, surprise, surprise. Comes right down to the 100 SMA, 39.37. So we can just see like that's where buyers have been buying. They bought there before. And if we go ahead and look at this on a 24-hour chart, you can really kind of see like it's basically when we see a pattern like this, or we see all of these wicks down like this, what we can assume is that supply is kind of getting dried up. And so oftentimes what happens is the market will balance at the edge of a zone before breaking. So that's really going to be the key. And I think if we do break that low of balance, it's not going to be a market that you're going to get in front of. You're going to want to go with it. But we've got a lot of things to keep us on track to make sure that we're in the right direction. So we're not going to get caught anything like that. But it's going to be, it definitely could be an account buster. I'm sure it will be. The COT report is going to be so interesting this week because on Tuesday, is it? Where's my watch at? Oh, we got plenty of time. On Tuesday, which was the 6th, was this day when the market came lower. And then the market really for the past 2 days hasn't done anything. But no matter what the market does today, really, even if it breaks lower and continues down into the gap, or if it breaks higher and continues up to that 4,000 level, it doesn't really matter because the COT report will come out based off of the positions when we set the low. So that's going to be kind of interesting because it's going to be the first time in a while where we're going to get a report and see if these big money buyers bought the dip or they were the ones selling. And that's going to give us kind of key insight, I think, into the end of the year. I know PAL's next week and stuff, but that I think will be a big helper for us going forward. Let's see. So looking at the profile, you can see Globex, because of the PPI, has taken out the high and the low, but we're back inside the prior day's range. And so really, if you break the profile out, you can kind of see, like yesterday, basically, we got this poor high, and then the seller kind of just sat there, right on that 66, 68 level. Remember, that was a huge level from the previous day as well. Remember the 60, or from before the break when the market broke down. So the seller, now that the market's back under there, was trying to sell that level down yesterday, right? Globex was pretty much net long, got a liquidation, now, probably closer to balanced inventory. And it's going to be up to the buyers really to get back above the settle and back above the 68, 66 in order to really convince us that the market wants to go up. I imagine we'll open with a little bit of a negative breath. We're down, 20 handles from the settle yesterday, probably a pretty negative tick. So once again, we're going to pay attention to the sectors and pay attention to the movement of the tick and see what the market gives us off of the open. We can assume that there's probably stops right here at this 39.60 prior day high. And, if we can assume this here, let's do some make believe here. I can show you guys something. If we break this profile off at B, I mean, we could break it off at B, it doesn't matter. Profile. Okay, so you could see basically the market broke lower and then balanced for 2 days, right? Or this day was a balancing day. This day is still inside this day with a poor high. So the market's basically still in balance. Well, now it checked back down towards the low of balance early this morning, and it's basically in that decision mode. Okay, well, is supply going to come in and push the market lower, or are we going to break above? And I think 68 is going to be kind of our key level to help us kind of stay on the right side of the market. Oh. I wanted to mark these two lows real quick before we get started. In case we break the low and don't
Morning,
just
everybody.
flush. Morning, Dad. Morning, Peter. Morning, Liquor. Morning, Roach. Israel, good morning. Haven't been around in a while. Hope you're doing well. What's your thoughts on the coming year in terms of Fed effect on the market? So like, I mean, I think we timed it pretty well here from the last Fed meeting. We had basically assumed that the market was gonna catch some upside. Of course, there were some down days. It wasn't just a straight up market, but so now we're kind of running into this next Fed meeting, and if we look here at the Fed funds rate tool, you can see they're pricing in this half basis point raise, about 78%, so a little bit less than yesterday. The dollar's almost at 105. But this is, based off of yesterday, so not including CPI. 1 second, guys. Hello?
I didn't lose audio, did I?
No, I think he's on a call.
Oh, okay.
Elaine's in here?
Well, she joined the Discord. And so I told her, go click on the Zoom link. So
Oh.
she should be coming.
She's in our Discord? Or she's
Yeah,
in,
she joined the Lincoln Logs.
oh, okay.
And so I pinged her and said, hey, there's no one in here right now. Go join the other.
Yeah, the Lincoln log usually doesn't get busy until later.
Yeah. That was what well, I don't think I necessarily told her that, but I told her that the Zoom is where everyone's at.
I guess Brad had predicted that it would go down. Cause he was dropping off the kids at school when the thing went wild.
Yeah. He said he put
He's
in a
like,
buy at 20 and it didn't pick him up.
well, yeah, it didn't go down that far. Yeah, it went to, I think the lowest it went was 25.
Yeah, it went, I knew it was close to 26, but I didn't look explicitly. Mine doesn't. I wish mine had the crossbar so it would actually show me where I could say exactly what level, but that's only in TD. There might be a way to do it in here, but I don't want to take the time to find it.
To do what?
To show crossbars where it'll actually tell me what price I'm at when I move my cursor around.
If you do it, yeah, you just gotta, if you're in the trade view.
Yeah.
over, it doesn't show you over to the right what you're gonna
It
buy
shows
it
me
at?
over to the right, but it doesn't, I mean, I can't tell, like if I'm looking at the bottom of a high and low, where it's just a little line, it's really hard to know exactly what that's lining up with.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well,
Whereas in,
because you don't have the TPO.
yeah, so in TD, I can move the cursor. When you're on a chart, if you move the cursor around, it draws crosshairs of where you are all the way out from your exact point up and then
Right.
sideways. And so you can line it up with that line and say, oh, it made it to 64 quarter or 32 half or whatever.
Whatever it is, it must have been serious because he ain't coming back. It's probably the school.
All right, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, basically, I mean, can't really see any other real keys to it besides the market needs to get above the 63.75 at the minimum, um, in order to really kind of convince us of any upside. So I was breaking it up right here, and so you can kind of see like a 2-day, like if we disregard this, you see a 2-day balance here, and then what are you doing? Who's drawing on the screen?
I was trying to mute it. Sorry.
But basically, we're in a 2-day balance. We kind of had to look above and fail yesterday, right? Because we closed back inside. So kind of a look above and fail. Today we had this return back to the low of balance and then a retracement back to the center. So if we were to just merge all these profiles together, we would, oh, damn it. I wanted to merge these three. So you can basically see it came to like the value area low of this kind of 2-day balance plus the look above and fail, and is kind of just sitting inside the weak spot repairing this structure. So there could be some repairing of this weak volume right here, give some people some opportunity to trade this, but most of the volume in the point of control has been kind of absorbed at the low with good excess on the low as far as the cash sessions go. So very interesting day. And really failure to break this poor low is weakness from sellers. So if they really fail to break this poor low, especially after that big dump after CPI, you'll probably just have a bunch of trap shorts and this thing just fucking rip up all day. Hash Brown said Bitcoin to the moon, 17,500 to 18,000 today. Up $500? Yeah, maybe.
The moon's gotten a lot lower.
Yeah. The moon has gotten a lot lower. Yeah, and this if the market does get above the settle 63.75, the VWAP is sitting right up here 63 half. I mean, that just makes sense. That's just showing some dominance, right? They flush it down below the VWAP, get some accumulation, bring it back up the VWAP. You know, depending upon how much shorting is going on under here, you get a nice nice liquidity run to the upside. A few billion liquidity showing on high block at 17,500. We've got a couple minutes. So this, I was trying to show this, but then I got on the phone call. So this is the dot plot, and basically the neutral rate, or what our rate is at 5. Everybody's saying that next year we're going to be at 5, and this is just to answer your question from before, Israel. But then everyone's just kind of balanced, so probably nothing in 2014, and then you see, one bearish person saying we should stay at 5, and then kind of interest rate cuts start to lead to 2024, 2025, and then longer run. It says the key thing here is what everyone's paying attention to. That's why I don't know how much volatility is really going to be priced into the market. But the key is once we get to 5, since nobody's showing above 5, once we get to 5, do they say we need to go above? If they say we need to go above the market, obviously going down big time. So that's kind of what we're looking for next week. Any information or any clues that gives us information about that next week when Powell is on. And I'll be trying to look into. And remember, we have some data coming out 30 minutes after the open. Michigan inflation expectations and consumer sentiment. Got about 30 seconds. There's the bell. Popped right off the open. So didn't really break the open at all there, guys. Little bid steps up. The book is super thin today. Or super thin right now. Well, I think they're going to raise it to 5% no matter what. It's just that they might raise it above 5%, and that will be kind of the issue if they do. You could see the breath opened up fairly negative. The tick opened up really negative here as well. Let's see if these sellers can flush this open. See tech starting to go red. There it goes. There's a flush. NASDAQ flushing hard here. Supply still moving in. They want to test that excess from yesterday. Look at the ticks getting beat down below 1,000 here.
Counts are primarily to the put side. Bot hasn't done anything yet. No counts in AMD.
A little bit of short covering on that 45 right there. There's a bid. Bid's chasing. A bunch of, like, that's hard to tell. That's some quick short covering. Ooh. All the way back above the open. Classic. All right, so here you have an opportunity. If they fail to continue this market higher, it's going to smack back down. So they've got to pop this market up and hold it above the open, or else it's probably going to be bye-bye. They sure are trying their hearts out here. A little bit of selling on the 54. Bid steps up. He's trying to get covered. I think this is a take profit. See if they keep popping above the VWAP. See, it kind of looks like they're taking profit right here. They need to get continuation at 58. Yeah. A little bit of mechanical selling on yesterday's half back. It looks like, look how far the tick popped up here. Only tech is really red. We saw this play yesterday, but on a very wider, or a much wider range. You guys remember? How do I separate the profile right there? Still continuing up. We're above half back now. Let me split this profile. How come it won't let me split it? So look at A period. Right, A period kind of did this exact same thing yesterday. Had like the excess on the bottom, built this volume, and then ended up ripping up higher.
Counts are 10 and 55.
Yeah, so the offer, I mean, there's still some selling up here on halfback. Yesterday's halfback to 58 is where it looked like a lot of people were taking profit as well. And if we can hold above this level here, the open 55, there's opportunity if it comes down here and can't break the open, especially if we get a positive tick. Everything else is kind of pointing green. Our weighted AD is starting to go up. We should be good, especially for the VWAP at least. And if we can get above the VWAP and hold, then we should be good for a continuation. A high is mechanical right to the prior day's high or the T2 high. Watch for the tick. Looks like the tick wants to go. Almost over VWAP now. Nice. Sellers are trying to get stuck right here. I don't know if they're trying, but they are. Buyers are trying to lift the bid. Keep lifting that bid. Keep bid. Come on. Buyers need to lift this thing up over the VWAP right here, or else. There we go. There we go. All right, buyers paid the toll right there. So maybe there's some buyers in the market today that are looking pretty strong. So impulse was 59. 61, 59 kind of. 59 to 61. Buyers still stepping up. Volume's kind of drying up here. See. Come on, tick. Tick's about to go positive. NASDAQ is looking a little bit weaker here. The buying just kind of drying up there. NASDAQ pulling back here a little bit. So look for this. This is this 59 to 61 was kind of where the bid was at. See if these buyers step up again. Short covering on that 60.75. Weighted AD still positive. Tick is trying to go positive. We've seen the point of control move up to that 63. A little bit of selling right there off the point of control of yesterday. A high seems very mechanical to me. Only 41 contracts on that high tick, but all right, here's that 59. This is where that bid was at before. Offer came in on the 61. Damn, that's the easiest fucking trade in the whole. More short covering here on the 61. This is where that offer was at before. So if this offer steps out of the way, it's just going to be obfuscate. Probably you trade all the way back up to maybe 84. Back to the 59. So let's see if the buyer steps up again. Still a fairly tight range to start the day. Morning, Patrick. Morning, Eldora. So too much time spent above 61 is going to cause short covering, and that's kind of what they're waiting for. So basically, since the buyers paid the toll last time to get the market up above that half back and cause this break higher, they're kind of looking for the sellers to pay the toll this time. So they're trying to get enough of them to get short and then start to get them nervous, and then that's when that liquidation will happen, or a short covering, really shorts liquidating their positions. And the target should be that 75 first, but the prior day high, which was a poor high, would be a repair, and that would be the spot really that you would kind of decide, is this position done, or do I need to keep running it? Right at the weekly view up. Nice. Still same play as yesterday, guys. It happened again. Same exact way. It's nice. So, right, overnight point of control we can expect, or maybe that prior day high to try to fix that. The key thing here is we just got this really nice bullish move, right? And if you cut a nice long, then that's awesome. But when we get above this prior day high, remember that's a repair of weak structure. So there could be a seller lurking here, and there was a seller in the market. So maybe they abandoned this position and they'll try to sell the market higher. So we've got to pay attention to that here. Put my stop on 65. If the market's below 65, I'll just look for a new position. That's a pretty fast tail to come down, and there's no volume up here. That's a pretty weak look, I think. So just short covering. Buyers really need to step up here. You might want to put it below the settle, but buyers really need to step up here to push this thing higher, else we'll just probably need to hold this above 61.5. Good. All right, guys. Let's start on profile. Let's see what Peter says. JB, you're done? Good shit. Good morning. Good morning. More short covering on this 65 right here. 65.75. More short covering. Two days in a row, easy long from the open, no heat taken. Yeah, that was nice, huh? Yeah. As soon as it crossed back above the open after failing to break the previous day's low, boom. I'll be right back, guys.
On there that should be like, oh yeah. Right. Remember, 7 minutes we get some news. So
I don't know, yeah, how much positioned you'd want to be.
What's the news that's coming?
What's that?
What's the news? Like,
Consumer
who's it
sentiment.
from?
It's Michigan. Michigan consumer sentiment. So tech and healthcare have gone a little bit red here. So we got that low tick of, what was this tick here? 732. So they smashed it down pretty hard, but weren't able to break the open yet. Yeah, I think. Oh, I'll look and then I can bring it to him if you need it. That offer app. Oh. $59. Looks like a big level here. Bids are trying to step up this half back. Healthcare is going green. Tech's trying to go green. A little short covering at the 58. Mashed it right back down. Remember we have a got what? It's 4 minutes until that number comes out, so if it breaks the open, I think we might be set up for a short. But then you've got these moving averages right here as well. I think the goal would be to repair this poor low. Any failure to repair this poor low, honestly, is gonna move the market higher naturally, just because of, you imagine that there's no supply down here, all of this taken out here. So that's the T+2. A lot of these people are probably still in position. Back to the 58. The VWAP's pretty flat, and typically when the VWAP is flat, and I know I don't have the deviations on there, but like if you can just imagine, those sellers are selling here, there's probably a deviation there. Sellers or buyers are buying here, and they bought here. So maybe there's a deviation here. There's probably a deviation here, I imagine. And if the market gets above the VWAP, it'll look to test the high of day. VWAP's like 63 quarter. You need to see the tick though get some juice. We haven't seen the tick finish positive really at all. I mean this one, but I mean look at barely. The high is 200. Tech's getting red again, healthcare's getting red again. 958. One minute. Above 61, above 63 with some buying, I think we bounce. We've got the 24-hour view up 63, weekly view up 68. Same. Oh my God. Volatility's going crazy. 6 above 0. Tech flipped green. Healthcare flipped green. It's like a little, you know, kind of spike to the upside. Oh. Damn, back through the open and then pops right above it. Back right to the 59. This is a make or break point here. Right here at the VWAP almost. There we go. If we can hold above the VWAP, I think we're good to get in there. Gotta hold above the VWAP. Wait for it to hold. Don't worry about getting filled late there, because if it holds above the VWAP, it's going to go up to 77. So no need to force yourself during this volatility. You just have to be patient, not diddle in the middle. Back to that 59. This 59 is just, it's bringing the market back and forth, back and forth. This might be a key spot to be paying attention to.
What did I miss? Why is the market going all crazy?
So you would know if you did your homework.
Nah, I just got on right now, dude. Dick.
Have done your homework? You would fucking know.
You're right. Now tell me.
It's the consumer sentiment from Michigan.
Mm.
And then we had PPI this morning, which is what caused the Globex session to go crazy. But so really, check this out. All this volatility, nothing's changed. Now we're above the VWAP. Fly me to the moon. Let me sail among the stars. So you're just looking for the market to really hold above VWAP. So if you took a nice long there, covered, you can look to get refilled is if the market can hold the VWAP. Look at tech picking up. Weighted AD's coming up. We just need the tick, man. Like, we just need the rest of the market to buy into this. Nobody's a believer yet. Ninja's so slow. Ninja's just hard on the computer. It's just the worst. That's why I fucking hate it. I always would freeze my shit. Another test of the VWAP. Tick's getting it. Come on. Volume's stepping up. I already sung Frank Sinatra, so there's no turning back now. A little profit taken on that 68. NASDAQ breadth's gone green. X still getting it. We bounced literally right off that VWAP. $74 would be the first standard deviation for the VWAP. And the high of day is basically that. So overnight point of control. Remember, these buyers, to show some good strength, we need to get above this prior day high. It is nice that we're above this this level, but we really need to get above this distribution. Remember, we talked about this yesterday, that if the market failed to hold above this distribution, that was kind of bearish. Well, the market just traded balanced really, but kind of higher. But it needs to get above this level in order to be like, okay, we rejected those lower prices and get a little bit longer term money to start covering some shorts. Remember, our magnet level was 59, which is just a little bit below the VWAP as we're coming back down to the VWAP here. So like I said, I don't really have any bias inside here until the market can get back below the open. I think if we get back below the open and hold, we'll probably see some good downside. Start attacking yesterday's point of control, the prior day low, and then or the prior day low, and then this poor low down here. But right where the settle's at, and then that's basically the VWAP as well. If we can start keep confirming above here, yeah, I think we have good odds to keep going up. There's some longs from there. But below that, if the market starts to hold below the VWAP, you really don't want to be in any longs, I don't think. Let's see if we can get some more momentum this time. We can assume, I think, that there's probably some trapped shorts down here. And their stop is probably this A high. If we break the A high, maybe some resistance 75, but we should see that prior day high. These buyers just need to fucking be about that life for a second. You kind of see we're coming up towards a resistance as well from the previous high from yesterday. This line here would be like if there was a line from the previous high to this high. Right back to the VWAP.
I'm with you. I could see both things happening right here. I could see him breaking that 72 and just running, or I could see it just shitting off a cliff right here down to 44.
Yeah, 44 was at the low. Yeah.
Overnight low.
Or no, 44 was today's low, not the overnight. Overnight low was actually like 30.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It was 25, the overnight low.
Hmm. So NASDAQ breath has gone red. NASDAQ's right on its VWAP, just like the ES. The Dow is very similar.
Is it going to give the downside a try here?
Yeah, let's see if it can get below the open. The low on my chart is 39.30, and on TOS it's the same from futures.
Are you talking about the Globex low or yesterday's low?
Globex.
Yeah, that's weird. What contract are you on?
The current contract.
1222?
Yeah.
Mine shows the low. Okay, wait, I'm in the MES. The MES low is
Oh, MES could be different.
24.75. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it could be different than MES.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes a difference. Cancel that.
All right, little short covering here on this 58 again. 59. The 61 was that battleground from before. So think of the market, on a more
I'm staying in the
a
swamp.
more micro scale here. We are inside. The market's balancing here. So if you think about it, the key here is pretty easy. The market's looking for acceptance above this previous balance. If it gets acceptance, then it should trade higher, and it should trade to a high. Honestly, that's the mechanical high that it should trade to, but poor high, obviously. There's some obstacles in the way. If it doesn't get acceptance here and it breaks the open, it should trade to this poor low. So really, we just got to wait to see acceptance below the open or acceptance above the settle, and we should be in the clear. A lot of volume coming in. How much time do we have? Oh, still 15 minutes till the next period. So
IT sector is getting dangerously low to or close to red.
yeah, and look at
was-
healthcare. Healthcare's getting smacked.
Yeah. It was up at like, I don't know the percentage, but 0.3.
And look at the weighted AD is almost back to zero now. A little bit of buying off the half back right there.
Tick is negative.
This 58 to 61 was a battle zone here before we kind of looked up higher, so they may try to battle it out again here.
That order book has a lot of red going through it.
Higher stepped up on that 58. Offer 61 again. Back down to half back. Let's see if they take the stops of those mechanical buyers. They, well, not yet. They're trying to though. There they are. We had mechanical buyers off half back. Sellers force it down, take their stops. Offer came in on 61. So if it gets above 61 again, we can expect to see more short covering. But really, I want to see the market get above 63 before I become a buyer. Offer still on the 61. It looks like it wants to just fucking monster up. Hans, you're back, my man. No, we actually did take a nice position from the open, nice long, but right now we're in that diddle in the middle scenario. So we're just kind of waiting to see if we can get above the VWAP or if we can get below the open and go with the market. What does your master Haikinashi chart show you? Jared, you missed out yesterday. This guy Hans came in and he was like shit talking about our charts are not real. He was cracking me up.
I'm with you, dude. I feel like this thing, if it runs, it's getting ready to run.
Yeah, but buyers are not holding on to positions. They're scalping that low right there. They're just
Yeah.
scalping off this half back. So any flush really of this half back again, because they already went and got their stops once. If they flush them again, they should go for the open. But like I said, all you have to do is just not diddle in the middle and just be patient. Wait for it to get above the 63.5 or below the open, and you're long in the Dow. What's the Dow doing? Yeah, the Dow's holding low too. Dow looks pretty much just like the ES. Yeah, just be careful with that. If we start to get too much below the open, the Dow will start to puke. The Nasdaq's getting to an inflection point here. It's getting kind of weak, and if it starts to puke, it'll drag the SPY or the ES. Nasdaq comes down. Sellers are moving down right here, so they're offering 56. Let's see if they can actually get some picks in their direction. A lot of selling for them not even be able to break the open. Pretty weak look there. Back above half back, so that's a pretty weak look. We've got Apple down only 0.36. Amazon's down 1.2. Netflix is actually up almost 5%. Google's flat. Tesla's up 2.5, almost 3%. Bonds are down 0.29. Dow's down 0.25. ES down 0.13. Nasdaq down 0.13. So Nasdaq's kind of taking this charge back above its VWAP. Now let's see if we can get above it and hold. All right, JB, have a good weekend, man. Ooh, a lot of volume switching in there. Big buyer, 750 lots on the 62 and traded on the ask. That's a pretty big order. I haven't seen an order that big in a while. What about you, Roach? I know you watch a time and sales.
Oh, looks like I know which direction he wanted it to go.
What'd you say? I didn't see the order. What was it?
It was a 750 lot order on 62 traded on the ask.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't really watching intently, but I didn't see it. 750 on 71 half.
62. 3962, 750.
Oh, I see. I see it on the tape. Oh, yeah, that's why I didn't see it. I got my tape. It showed that it dropped. I don't know how to explain it. it colors all blue when it takes out the offers or the bids below the
Oh,
mark. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Pink and blue, I have it set up. But no, you're right. You rarely see 750 just slam it down. No.
Yeah, that's a big order.
Yeah.
You figure, I think that's probably old business. So that's like a short getting out of his position. Is kind of what I'm taking that as. So if we get above 62 again, I feel like that seller that's been here, who's pretty big, is going to be getting out of the way. So far, I mean, it does take new buyers to buy the market as well. So if he's getting out of the market, even though he was a big seller, doesn't necessarily mean that the market's just going to go up because he's not in. Somebody else could sell, I guess. It's embarrassing how weak this tick is, though. So the weighted AD went negative. The market never was able to break the open. It's coming back positive, just barely. X going up a little bit. Healthcare is popping a little bit. Energy's kind of flirting with the 0 level. It's been doing it all day. So we're in between 56 and 62. Those are the two keys here. What's your target on the Dow, Hans?
Is this a little strange for us to have major news like this and not even break the A range?
That consumer confidence report is not necessarily major news, to be honest.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Just feels like every time a report drops, it goes crazy one way or the other. And this one's kind of just been like, no, we're not doing shit.
It kind of seems like it's getting held in, to be honest. And that's why I'm saying it kind of seems like that, like a seller's been here in the market. That's why we have this kind of poor high. I feel like it just kind of died out, like it absorbed everything. And we have this poor low, and so it's like a buyer's down here kind of absorbing everything, and that's what it kind of seems like is happening. That's why I'm wondering if that big order that just came through was the seller capitulating and being like, you know what, fuck it, you can have it. I'll just wait for pound next week or something like that. Because that's a pretty big order.
Right. That 750, was that an aggressive buyer or seller?
It was a buyer. Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, because my tape is showing it's a buyer, I wasn't sure though.
Yeah. Yeah. Traded on the
I
ask.
thought my tape was fucked up.
Yeah, and
Traded on the ask.
that's why I'm wondering, because it all traded on one level. So I'm wondering if that seller, like, I don't know, just saw liquidity and was just like, boom. Because, I mean, for 750 lots to trade on one level, you got to have motherfuckers just moving down, moving down, moving down to fill that thing. Without it,
Yeah.
like, eating up a couple of levels, At least looking at the tape right now. So somebody did a deal there, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, somebody called somebody and was like, yo, I got 750 lots. I need to get out of them. What's the best price you can quote me at? They quoted at 62. They held it at they held the price and then traded. Well, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly how it works.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they do shit like they do
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think it's legal too. A lot of times they don't have to show you like icebergs. They don't have to show them. I really don't know the details, but they
No, they're
get
just
away with.
they're just holding the bid there. So like I said, like, so we have a DOM, right, that has like, let's just say here we've got like 90, 100, 150, 75, 112, 175, right? But a lot of these orders are market maker liquidity, right? Maybe half of them are real, maybe 75% of them are real. The rest is market maker liquidity. So what they do is they just hold all the liquidity at the same level because they're the extra liquidity anyways. So like, oh, they'll just fill all of them right here, fill them, and then they'll go back to letting it only filling so many here, only filling so many here, only filling so
Yeah.
many here. They just move all of it down, and they're just like, oh, yep. Oh, you've got 750 that you want to get off your chest on the 62. I'm your dude. I need those. So.
Gimme, 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 gimme.
Because you
So
you figure
by accumulating them all at once, they basically pay more to get them.
no. There's no more or less.
Oh, they just go up and I thought you said that they cash them all out at one price. He just runs up the ladder and takes everybody in the number.
No, the reason I think it was a short getting out is because the way that it traded kind of, but basically I mean he's just trading them all on the 62. So somebody called down to the exchange and was like, "Hey, I got X amount of lots. I need you guys to get me out at the best price." The guy says, "Hey, I'll give you 750 at 62." The guy says, "Book it." Boom. And then they just get on the fucking computer and then execute it.
I see.
Yeah, it doesn't cost any more or less. It's just a fee, you know. But these are their primes. Like they're they pay these people cash every single month to make sure that they can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been in that trade for the last 30 minutes right there.
For you. Me too. I'm not in from 30 minutes, but him and
I just got out too. I hit my goal for the day.
bitch. Sorry. I
Yeah.
sneeze.
It's okay.
That's awesome, Jared.
Yeah.
Okay, someone's got to be fun.
Yeah. Now I got to trade my other account.
So the reason I think that was probably a profit taking order is because this guy kind of sees what's going on and he's like, well, they tried to break the open a couple times. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to get out because he knows T2 or above the T2 high. As the market gets later in the day, basically you're just going to get liquidations, right? So right now we can assume we've got a P-shaped profile. So most of the buying has been short covering, which makes sense because look at the tick. It's so weak that none of this buying has really been real. But there's really no sellers in the market either because as soon as we got back above the open, we've never gone back below from that B period's news move. Nasdaq looks strong. Everything's just waiting on the Dow. I think the Dow's just struggling because oil's been so weak lately. Gold's up a little bit. Yeah, the dollar's almost at $5 or 105. So the dollar's probably weighing a little bit heavy on the market. Well, Gordon Jake, 3,400 is your target on the Dow? We at now? Is that that swing high? Oh, just above it. Yeah. Short covering on the 65. Back to the VWAP.
Dude, just a couple of weak looks on both sides, you know?
Oh yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like the only buying is uh old business short covering, and then there's no selling because if there was supply, we would break the open. So it's basically just like momentum buyers as big money is covering their shorts. Market pops up, pops up, pops up, and then buyers start taking profit, and then you just wait. These sell as the market gets lower, sellers start buying the market back. All right, I'll be right back. Red Ninja is a bad platform for me. Oh, Sierra charts soon. Yeah, I have Sierra charts. Yeah, you could load my template. I have it in the Discord. Look at the tick, starting to get strong.
Yeah. They're just taking profit or getting out. We're gonna head back down to that 50.
Yeah, they failed to get above this high right here. Let's see. What do you say, the 50?
Mm-hmm. Because that's where I want to enter again.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna get back down there.
They want you to think.
Yeah, it should be under templates in the Discord. Yeah, profit taken on that 66. All right, Jake, have a good weekend.
Yeah, it had a really hard time at that like 55 area.
Eyeing off the VWAP again there. You get the weekly VWAP just above here, like on the 68. So 12 minutes until D period. 39.66. Remember that was a big level. And if that was the seller that closed, he closed 39.62. He finally closed everything he's been selling all week. Arizona Senator Kristen Sinema leaves the Democratic Party and declares independent. Arizona's going back to a Republican state.
I wish. Maybe I'd move back there.
They're gonna primary her ass so bad anyways.
But she's fine.
There's no way. She was holding on.
They've got to bounce above the 68. This shit is just fucking getting old. Just do it. Come on. Look at the tick. Look at the weighted AD. Tech's picking up. Come on, Tech. Take us to the promised land. You can. NASDAQ wants to break up right here. It's trying. Oh, fails.
Here we go.
What? You think we're going
It's
down
gonna
still?
no, it's gonna go. It could pop, dude. I think it's gonna give it one more little down, then see you later.
'68's the key here. Got to get above 68. There's all these buyers trying to lift the offer here. Right on the weekly VWAP, trying to get above the weekly VWAP, but just struggling. Offer moved down to 65 there from 68. See the response. The VWAP's right here, 63 still. What are the odds that A period or B period is inside A period and now C period is inside B period? C period has a weak high and I don't know, sometimes a low that comes right to half back from the previous day is sometimes a sign of strong buying. But on today, we could see the tick. The buying is really not very strong. So little short covering there on that bounce. 61.50 at that prior day's range. And I think shorts are trying to cover as close to that 61.50 as they can. Imagine if you, oh, what the fuck just happened? I'll undo that. What happened here? Oh shit.
You done fucked up, AA Ron?
It's a tool. Erase all non-text drawings. Might erase all of our drawings, let me ask. Erase last drawing. Boom. Genius. But imagine here if the market breaks lower, you get short in the hole, even shorter in the hole the next couple of days, right? So these guys got short in the hole, they paid the price. They got short in the hole 2 days ago, paid the price, but then we're able to just not, that's not that much of a difference. 36 to 60, 30 handles, they could take that kind of heat. But now they're seeing that they can't even get back down to the point of control, and they're starting to be like, oh shit, well, we need to start covering before this thing gets out of control, because they've seen these bear market rallies or these squeezes that happen when the market gets a little bit too short in the hole and market makers start to dry up some liquidity. The market gets really squeezy. But we haven't seen any buyers in the market yet. So that's why they're getting this opportunity, I think, to cover. And the only buying is really old business, as we see the tick. For the most part, yeah, we've had some closes above zero, but I mean, look at where all the bodies of the ticks are at. Everything's kind of down here in the center, or in the low part below zero. So seeing healthcare get kind of ugly. Tech has pulled off quite a bit. Industrial's gone red. Energy's red. Weighted AD's at 33, so it's pulling off a bit. ES pulling right back down to trend. Testing below the VWAP once again, but bouncing off that half back again. Almost down to, would you say, Jared, 50?
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if that's what we went down to. But it does keep bouncing off that half back.
Pretty boring here. Stuck inside of a balance. Tech's getting a little bit greener here. Trying to hold its VWAP. It's basically right above its VWAP while the ES is right below. Apple's actually looking pretty strong, to be honest. but Apple needs to break that 144, I think, to really convince. Little liquidation there. Decent volume trying to come in. Ooh, sellers just got stuck on the 58.5. Watch to see if they can get back below 58.5. That's what they need to. Ooh, they're gonna start short covering.
Here comes all the momentum traders.
Yeah, you might need to shake the tree a little bit before taking the high. Grab some short liquidity. Yeah. Very nice trade there. Right back to the VWAP. More selling off the VWAP. What do we got? 9 minutes until D period. Yeah, this is almost like, God, tell me back when it gets up above the 68 or below the open.
Yeah, looks like they're gonna try to run it up again, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, it does look like that. I agree.
That 70 has been, it's been a bitch to get through.
What's up, TJ? Yeah, those sellers are still stuck 58.5. So if they can't get below that 58.5, then there's no chance to go down. I don't know. Like, I mean, like the Netherlands looks so good against the US, but the US sucks and Argentina's supposed to be good, but didn't Argentina lose to like fucking Saudi Arabia or something? So I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'll root for the Netherlands. Remember, 68 was the level. If this thing breaks above 68, we should see a bunch of short covering, and that should take us, you know, above the high at least. 60. Okay. It's like, give it to me. Give it to me. I want it. I want it. Give it.
Do it.
Little profit takers on the 66.75 right there. Machines. Six minutes. Yeah, exactly. Like, can you control Messi? If you can, then you can win. If you cannot, then your fate is sealed. Here we go. How do they do that? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Houston, you're clear for liftoff. Where's the button at? All right.
Where's the bid?
Should have the lady run through the stops for us. Ooh, shorts are getting nervous. We're right here at the 68. Oh, there's people taking profit. Hold strong, team. We want to win. Come on, just do it. Oh my god, pathetic. Buyers trapped up there at 69. Then you get back up. And what else does this market want from us? Huh? Like we gave you Frank Sinatra, fucking gave you the countdown for liftoff like you're a fucking astronaut. You know, like just take off.
Bye.
You know? That awkward moment when someone comes over to your house and you're just kind of like done with them being over, and you're like, all right, you know, like, see you later, friend. They're trying to absorb up here. That 1900 contracts on the 70.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I got out at the 72 for almost all my lots, but I got one on. Just it's looking pretty strong.
Well, it's looking like if buyers don't fucking lift this offer and get some ticks up, then they're gonna be getting stuck. There they go. Finally, motherfuckers. Jesus. All right, now we'll go straight to that 77.
Yeah, you got 560 on 70 even there. You got to keep it above 70 even, I would think.
Yeah, I agree. Exact same spot. Yep. That weak spot in the profile. Bye, Jared.
Hey, I got it. I got back in at the 70.
Oh, that's nice.
You're one of the 560 then. Or a couple, whatever you bought.
I'm about back-to-back 100-point days. All right, D period's gonna open up in a jiffy. I'm gonna be right back. Quick commercial break. Let this thing ride. Short's covering right here on 73. All the nerves are starting to hit because the margin calls are coming.
Capitulation.
Finally seeing a nice strong tick. Look at tech. Fucking driving the market higher. It's a beautiful morning. Let's see if they're going to close these single prints.
Oh yeah, they're fucking scared.
You bet your ass they're scared. But if they can get the market back below 70, they get a little bit less scared. So just be careful. Like, I mean, I'm definitely not saying that the market's about to take a bath, but if a seller comes in and smacks this thing down below 70, there's going to be some weak-handed longs that are up here buying that are going to fucking capitulate, and that could cause like a quick flush. So you got to assume there's some weak-handed buyers that are in right here piling in, trying to break the prior day high. Probably some mechanical sellers. See if we can capture the impulse.
Fuck yeah. All right.
That's a good day, huh?
Fuck. That's a great day. I might have to probably call it there, boys.
What are we talking here?
I did good.
Nice.
Right around 3K. Go make me some coffee, sit there and just read my book, enjoy my day.
right, bro. I'll hit you up later.
Oh, dude, by the way, I was watching videos all night last night. All right, here's what we got to do in Warzone, okay?
Okay.
Whenever you get it down to the final circle and you get the person in your sights, that's when proximity chat kicks in, and that's when you tell them, dude, like, hey, fucking put on a 3 armor vest, plate up, drop the guns, and we're gonna fucking duke it out.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Have you seen any videos of people doing that?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, dude, that's so funny. Or like do it right off drop. So whenever you do the first little initial drop,
Yeah.
that's when you like land next to somebody, dude, and just tell them, hey, land at the oil fields or whatever. Be like, meet me out in the middle of the runway or something. Be like, let's duke it out. Oh, dude, that's funny. Oh man, it's so hard to get off after this. But I gotta do it. Well, hey, yeah, hit me up, man.
All right, for sure.
All right, later,
See
everybody.
you, bud. Good
Yeah,
job.
later,
See you,
bros.
bud. Have a
Yep.
nice day.
Yep, you
Hey
too.
man, good job today.
Hey, thanks. You guys have a good one.
Fucker rolls out of bed and makes 3K by 10 o'clock.
Oh, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Yeah.
But Jared's he's getting a lot better. I just still give him a hard time because he's so fucking hard headed.
Yeah, and these are friend. What are his friends your whole life? You ball, that's a
Probably for like the last 6 years, 7 years.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. I thought these were childhood.
No, we actually met through James, playing video games online, and then he lived in the same city that my grandpa lived. So when I went and visited my grandpa, I just went over to his house, and then when he moved to Vegas, and then I went out to Vegas and stayed with him for a day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, him and his
I
wife.
thought you grew up. I thought you were in high school or something together.
No, him and James grew up together. I think they went to college
Yeah.
together.
What's your James? Your buddy from the military?
Yeah.
Okay.
$250 week spot needs to hold. It looks like every time the market gets right there, shorts start to cover, and that's the bounce. So I don't think any of this is actual buying. So actually, I think probably that weak spot won't hold. You'll probably see a retest of that 70.
Yeah, right where that 560 came in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You don't think it'll hold, huh?
The 72.50? No.
No. I got 39.70 even.
Oh,
you started
70.
talking.
Oh yeah, 70. Yeah, 70 might hold. I don't think the 72.50 is gonna hold. I mean, it's doing an okay job right now though. If it doesn't hold, it'll be a nice key. Then we just know shorts are trapped, and we could just get long if it breaks the open of the bar, and then stop right below that D low, and then target the top of this distribution. The top of B period is gonna be my next look up, the 80. Let's see if it can hold the 72.50.
The other day, somebody asked me my age. I says 50 even. It's like a half. I said, you're 50.
That's fucking funny. 50 even.
Yeah, 50 even.
42 half. It's like a kid fucking. How old are you? He's like, I'm 8 3/4.
Yeah. When the kids, yeah.
And my son's funny when he gets older, like he he thinks like different skills develop like as you get older, like it's a fucking like it's a game. You're like,
Like it's automatic.
I'm
Yeah,
a year
level up.
older. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when he turned 6, like I'm talking the day he turned 6, we're getting ready for school. He's going to school, and I'm like, "You want me to zip up your jacket?" And he's like, "Dad, I'm 6 now. I could zip it myself." And I'm like, "Oh shit, big man. I guess we better fucking chill."
I want to sit in the front seat now. My son's got that Invisalign now. We just started that a couple months ago. He goes,
Oh,
we gotta put
Invisalign?
that shit. Yeah,
Nice. That's what my sister had. That shit works pretty good.
but yeah. It's like they say. We'll see. His teeth are pretty fucked up too, pretty bad. So it's from my wife's side.
Where
I blame her.
what dentist do you guys go to?
The dentist I go to now, not to go to the dentist. The dentist I go to is in Wilkes-Barre. I love this guy's a great guy. Patelli is his name.
Mhm.
Patelli. He's from Dunmore. He's an Italian guy from Dunmore, but real not great guy.
Yeah,
And
see, we're
the
Irish, so
orthodontist,
we go to a dentist named Gallagher.
yeah, you have a shot of whiskey. Gives you a
Yeah.
shot of whiskey when you're done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go to him because he was Italian. I really don't care, but I actually thought he was Indian from the name. I said
Oh,
Patel, I said,
yeah.
and but it was my wife's dentist from when she was younger. And then when I go, I said, all right, we'll go down. And I got to know him. What a good guy, just real good guy. Like just down to earth.
Yeah.
But the orthodontist we go to is a Mariotti in Clark Summit. There's not
Mhm.
many of them around that do orthodontist, so we went to him.
How much are
He
they
seems nice.
charging you for that Invisalign?
Somewhere around $6,000,
Well, that's not too bad.
rough 5 or 6, between 5 and 6. I think it's close to 6. Yeah,
Because my
and not too bad.
nephew,
I got I
my
can end up paying 12.
with interest. Yeah.
No, with the other kid. No, I got 2
Oh,
kids. I didn't see them.
oh
I was
yeah,
gonna
the
need
other
it too.
kids.
So.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
my
think she's
nephew
gonna
had to
do it.
get braces, and my brother said that it was going to cost him 14 grand.
Wow, where the hell's that? Around here, or is that out?
Oh, California. Yeah,
I
California.
mean, they charge more out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's that much around here, but you know what? Actually, I think the braces are cheaper than here. If we went with braces, I think we didn't even think about it. So it's so much better for the kids to get the Invisalign.
Yeah, yeah.
The braces are rough. I never had. Nobody in my family had them, so I didn't know. But
Yeah, I never had braces either.
nah, I never.
I had opportunity to get braces as a kid, but I just didn't want them.
Me too. Me too. I said I was a stubborn kid. I ain't
Yeah, me
getting them.
too.
My teeth turned out good, decent enough. They're not perfect.
Yeah. I mean, my front teeth are fucking fake anyway, so who cares?
One of
Just done
mine
brace-
is busted anyway. Yeah. Both ears are bad.
Yeah, well, I got them smashed out with a
Broke?
hockey stick in a game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're both broke.
Yeah.
Only one of mine is.
I think my dad was at that game. Maybe, or maybe my
You got
mom
hit
was
with the
there.
stick, huh?
Yeah, dude, I fucking pulled this. Oh, dude, it's the sweetest fucking deke ever. Through this guy's legs, through my legs, onto my backhand, and then as I'm coming, like to bring the puck back towards the net to shoot, the defender, because I was behind him, he just spun around and he left his stick out, and his stick went right underneath of my visor and just fucking hit me right in the mouth.
Yeah.
And I wasn't wearing a mouthpiece naturally, because hockey's for men. And boom, fucking teeth gone.
I bet you wish you had that mouthpiece now.
Well, I mean, what really sucked is when that happened, I was, not in the best in not in the best money position or insurance position, and I couldn't get them fixed for a while, and then the nerve was hanging out. So I could only
Oh.
eat like fucking mashed potatoes
Yeah.
for like a fucking month. It was
Yeah.
miserable. I mean, I like mashed
Yeah, that's
potatoes,
brutal.
but damn.
Oh, how old were you?
I think I was 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was before I joined the army.
Yeah.
I was playing in like an adult men's league. That's why I was so pissed
Oh,
because
okay.
it was like it wasn't even. I mean, it's competitive, but it wasn't like, you know, it's like a fucking
Yeah, yeah.
local
It's
league.
a
Like,
pastime.
yeah, and the guy
Yeah.
like blatantly just. I mean, given like that, like I was 20 years old, but playing in a league with mostly older men, not older men, but like 30s and above. And so I'm just fucking like ripping around and scoring like a million goals. And this guy had just been frustrated because I was shit talking him.
Uh,
Because that's how I play the game. It's like I'm a big psychological player. I'm
yeah, yeah.
like, hey, bud, you're fucking terrible. They're just like, what? And but then
Yeah, I
after the
never
game,
talked. I never talked in sports. I never was a talker in sports
oh,
at all. Once in a while I get, curse if somebody did something, but I wouldn't get in somebody's head. Or I just like to hit.
so you gotta give them a little bit because
Yeah,
you have to find out what type of person they are. Because some people
yeah,
respond negatively to the pressure, and some people respond positively to the pressure. So like some people you go up to be like, hey, you're trash. And they're like, oh, all right, motherfucker. And then they start playing really good and you be like, all right, let me not talk shit to this guy anymore.
yeah.
Let me start complimenting him. And then you start complimenting him and then that fucks him up. And that's pretty much what I do. Like if somebody's really good and they respond to that, then I just start giving them compliments. And sometimes that pisses them off more.
Yeah.
Like, you know
Yeah,
what?
I
That
don't
was
know
one of the
how
best
others.
shots I've ever seen. And they're like, what's my opinion on jigsaw trading? YouTube videos with the Dom, watching them, but with your comments on the Dom in the back of my head. Yeah, I mean, if you can find a way that speaks to you, then yeah. I just you know uh emphasize
Interesting.
using caution on the Dom because it can cause you to overtrade. Like I said, I'm really only looking at the Dom when I'm about to get into a trade or if I'm in a trade. Other than that, I'm not really messing around with it because it can really you can see the same patterns over and over and over, and sometimes you see those patterns and it runs up 50 points or 10 points, let's say. Sometimes you see that pattern, it runs up 2 points and then flushes down. So that's why it's important to have levels that you track, but um, it can cause you to
I
overtrade, I
think
think, for sure.
you could pretty much do with Sierra chart. You're better off. You could do anything Jigsaw could do anyway, just about. Maybe not exact, but
Yeah,
for the way
I
you know what
agree.
I mean. So I don't think it's. I wouldn't buy it. I don't know. I mean, I want to tell anybody what to do, but try it on Sierra and then maybe you like it.
Yeah, Jigsaw doesn't have anything really. Oh, did you see that big order? Oh, just watch the YouTube videos? Yeah. Just type in any DOM reading or tape reading. And there's nothing wrong with watching them to learn them. You just take everything that you learn with a grain of salt, right? Even myself, like like you shouldn't just be believing everything that I say just because I say it. Not that I'm gonna try to feed you information that's not true, but you always want to do your due diligence. And if I talk about something that you're kind of unsure of, that's what I do. I just go on fucking YouTube and type that shit in. Like I'm gonna watch a couple videos on it and see what the thesis is here, and then go from there.
There's an order. They just sold 8.5.
Yeah,
Yeah, I also record it and then just watch it at night or weekends. Just sit there and watch it.
yeah,
Because you're not trading, you're just paying attention. You get it can only do it so long, but just to
yeah.
get used to it, get a rhythm.
Hey, Brad, you care
Actually
if we
don't like watching. Go ahead.
My bad.
Sorry.
So you care if we do like a trade recap, see what you would have done different, maybe?
Oh yeah, sure.
Cool. So it looked like there was a bunch of stops obviously lined up like above the B and the C high and then the A high, like before we broke up. So I was looking to take a long if we got above the A high. So I put I think one lot on 72.5, and then I had another buy stop at 73. And then I had my stop at like one tick below 70, because that really looked like the area that was getting defended. So I figured short should be covering above that level. And then the original plan was to take one off a little below the previous day high. So like 76, maybe something like that. And then I was going to try to let the other one ride because I felt like we were in a position where if we get up there and shorts continue to cover, we could squeeze higher, maybe take the other one off at like 82, 83, something like that, because there's like a thin spot right there in the overnight profile. So yeah, so it took a minute for it to get to the overnight high. So I pulled that take profit down a little bit. So I think I ended up getting out at like 75 on the first one. I was letting the second one ride. Got a phone call, and I was just like, I already got my stop where I want it. If it hits it, it hits it. Like, because I was trying to play the longer trade or whatnot. And yeah, so I thought about moving my stop up to like the A high, like 72, because if we got below that, then we could have a bigger pullback. But I felt like the 70 was really the level, so I put it right below like the B high, like I said. And then so yeah, came back and got me on the last lot that I was trying to leave as a runner. But I was in from 73 on that one, so like I made basically overall trade, I was down a point.
Right.
Even though the trade was working, for a while. I mean, we did hit the previous day high. So it could have been, if I would have just took it at the previous day high, like took both off, it could have been like 78 points. But that wasn't really the trade plan, so I don't know, just kind of figure out, get your thoughts.
I actually had something happen to me almost exactly similar. I was in from a little bit lower. I was in from 65, but I kind of did the same thing. I was kind of actually taking profit like right at 76, right before we get to that 77 prior day high. And then I had put my stop right there. And it came back down, and I put my stop literally right under 70, and it came back down and hit me. So kind of basically the add-on position was a loss, so kind of broke it even, I guess. But I don't know. I think that you managed that trade perfectly. The only thing really different that you could do would be to make it like a longer term position, and you would put your stop, below the settle or something like that. But that would make you have to, you know, that would be like more of your target 83. But I think that you were good to cover there. What I think, and this is something that we kind of talked about yesterday, is like as it's back in your same spot right here, because this is basically where you got in previously. So just because it went a little bit lower, but then it came right back, what's really changed with the position that you originally liked from right here? You know what I mean? And so you get this opportunity to start adding as it goes below. Nothing's really changed. We're still one time framing up. We're still above the VWAP, which is where we talked about being above. This thing came almost right down to it, bounced right off of it. So we like that. We're pushing against the uptrend, and we know as soon as we can achieve staying above that prior day high, then we're going to start seeing short covering as it gets later in the day. So the only thing that I would say is basically when you get stopped out like that, like when you get stopped out right there, when it came back down, you should just be just requalifying your position. You know what I mean? Or when it comes down, it bounces in because you got in 73, 74, right?
72 half, 73.
72. Okay, so 72 half. Yeah, right on the break of A. That's right. And so basically, now that it's back up to that level, and you're basically looking for the market to establish above that level, and you knew establishing above 70 was kind of where you were assuming that we'd probably get some downside, and you were right because we did come all the way back down to that 65. But now you figure, okay, well, if we can establish out of A, then you should be good. So I mean, I don't think you did anything wrong, honestly. I think that was probably the best way to manage that trade. It was just kind of a later entry.
Yeah, yeah. The trade was more based on shorts having to cover and getting a push up. So maybe the profit target shouldn't have been as far. I don't know.
Right, I agree. Yeah, I think if you're gonna take like the breakout, you've got to be probably covering on like your next mechanical reference just in case those buyers don't show up.
Cool.
And then also something you can use, like if we're getting ready to that breakout, is look at that tick, and the tick was kind of above 0 and it was moving up, but it was basically like the first time that it had done that all day. So like, let's say if we start to get some tick looking like this, where it's just like holding below the 0, but it's actually start holding above, but it's just not going higher, then it gets that breakout, then I would say that's something that you notice as the trade is happening, and then you move your take profit farther out because you're assuming that you're going to get continuation. Does that make sense?
You said
So like
what?
Like let's say you're taking the same trade, right? On the breakout. But this time we've got the last 15 minutes holding above 0. So we can assume that the buyer has kind of moved up here. And so this time, the first time we were, barely breaking above 0 for the first time, pretty much all day. And so it didn't get that continuation. But so this time we take our take profits and we kind of move them out a little bit, right? Because our first take profit probably should have been this overnight point of control. But this time, if we get this tick continuation as it gets closer to our point of control, then we just move, if it continues to look strong, then we just move our take profit up and just basically tease the market up until it stops moving up and then flatten out. Once it quits trying to move.
Yeah, after I took the first one off, I debated moving my stop to break even, to like protect from the downside. But I don't know, with that specific setup, you're entering after a little after the impulse, and a lot of times it'll come back to test the impulse, like it did. It bounced off of like 72 half like 6 times, I think, before it broke or something. Right. So that's when I was like, I don't know, that's one of the things that I struggle with too sometimes. Like, I could put the stop at break even just to protect the downside, but like really if this holds, then it's going to hold for a while, and we could even see the overnight high. So it felt like the risk to reward so I guess you can play it both ways, like depending on your strategy maybe, but I don't know, like sometimes it seems like it's good to put your stop at break even on the last lot, and then other times it's like, well, it's only 2 points down from where it needs to be really, so like just leave it there and let the trade work.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes I don't know which one to do that.
And I think that's just going to come with time. There's nothing really that you can do, because it's like you said, like it really is going to be situational dependent based on what the market's giving you at that time. Because you never know of the reaction, right? Like you're like, okay, if the market gets here and holds, I want to buy it, and these are my targets if the market keeps breaking up. But if the market all of a sudden doesn't keep breaking up, what do I do? And it's like, that's where you're starting to think like 3 or 4 or 5 steps ahead. So you're on the exact right path of train of thought for sure. And so now what you can do is, now that you've identified that, in your journaling, you write down those scenarios, right? Like, so you've moved your stop up to break even and it hit you, and this is what happened during that. And then you moved your stop to where you wanted it to be and it hit your stop, and this is what happened with that, right? And then you have kind of these scenarios built in, and so that way when the scenario happens again, you're like, oh, okay, this is what was happening last time this was going, and then it moved down to here and then held and then went or whatever, but it got my stop first, so I need to do this with my stop, or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, E period opening up above A to me is kind of bullish. If there's buyers here, you figure they're gonna start initiating new prices above that initial balance, and really just A range, I guess, because A range was a balance. Back down to that 70. You want to use it to identify trap traders? Yeah, that's a good idea. You still got your Dom trade running? Or your Dow trade running? Nice. Yeah, Dow's looking good. Dow's still actually lagging behind a little bit.
Hey, Brad, on the short side, if E takes the D low, that would also put us below VWAP and a break of this uptrend on the 1 minute we've been in forever. We got this like giant 45-degree angle going.
Yeah.
Would you wait till it gets down further? I know you were originally saying like the open before you, like, are you looking for responsive longs until you can confirm more info? Like, I know you were saying below the open earlier.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think there's some opportunity there, like you're talking about. If it breaks below the settle and the VWAP, there might be a flush, and the target would become that C low, which is right at the halfback of yesterday. So that would make sense. But then I still think if there's no like continuation, there's just like, I mean, it just seems like there's just been no supply at all. So, I mean, you would have to see some supply, and we'd have to get some buyers trapped. And I think to get some buyers trapped, we probably need to get some sellers trapped first. So, like, I think that in order to get that downside, we need to get like right here, fail to take this high, and that's when everyone and their mothers are like, oh shit, we're going to the moon, and then all this buying starts pouring in mechanically, and then they just shit the bed down, stop everybody out, and then just balance. That'd be awesome. That's what I would do if I was a market maker. But they would trap a bunch of momentum shorts, get back down close to the open, not break the A low, and then just hold right here leading into the Fed next week. This D high is just like right to the previous day high. I still kind of consider this mechanical. I mean, I know it's 2 ticks above it, but I don't really, I'm not a huge fan of it. But I mean, I think you'd probably be safe, TJ. Like if we break trend and get below that 50 on the 1 minute, you could see that liquidation back to the VWAP. But I think they'll be buying in here, I imagine.
Yeah, that 65 is where the buying came in last time. So I'd probably wait till at least broke that or broke VWAP, I would think, before I would even consider it. Just because most of my trades, I try to play it based off levels of where time and volume, was put in. So, everybody that was on the wrong side is now stuck. That's where I kind of look at normally.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
mean, right now, every one time frame it up, you know, I was just trying to think of the other side, whatever the other team's thinking, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Always good to maintain perspective. That's what's going to keep you on the right side of the market. Volume is just kind of dying off. $76, the seller's on. 76 half. I think we'll probably go to that 82 level. That weak spot that you were saying, 82, 83. Weak spot on the next session if it breaks the high. That's looking a little bit weak. I'll put your stop on 72 now. I'm gonna move mine. Look at the tick just taking off from the 0 line. Healthcare is still red, but weighted AD is trying to make a new high. Breath is going positive even more. Nasdaq's ripping. No follow through. All the way back down to the 72. Well, I think I know what we need to do. Probably need to end the stream. That's when we get the breakouts. That's, I mean, it's basically like been happening almost every time, I feel like. But it is Friday. I'm gonna go get some lunch. I'm gonna get a little workout in. So we get a little fail breakout there, back to the mean, a little reversion to the mean. Below that 70. If it holds below the trend, the breakup trend is right on that 50 SMA. So yeah, a little bit of buying underneath of there. We kind of assumed, but I'm flat right now, not in a Yeah, everyone have a good weekend, right? World Cup's on. Watch some soccer, as we call it in America. I'll share my screen in the Discord after this is over. So if you're on YouTube, just jump in the Discord and then watch the stream through there. I just won't be on the mic because I'm gonna eat and work out. But I'll jump in periodically. Yeah, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure that you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan, and I will catch you guys later.